Well, welcome to a very special edition of Hue at Home. I have mayoral candidate right here, Rana Bokhari. And Rana, we are now like less than 60 days,
Yes.
into this, I guess, the second part of the campaign.
Yeah, the most important part, kind of, yeah.
But a lot has happened over the summer.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I want to start off with the RV.
Yes, so a lot has happened during summer, and the RV was definitely a hurdle. It's a hurdle. It's been a challenge. It's been a challenge trying to get it fixed. But I do appreciate the messages and people reaching out trying to help. I think that was kind of a funny way for people to kind of come to me and engage with me. But so I appreciate it. But I'm really working hard to get that back on the road, because it kind of feels like a big part of my vision for this campaign has been taken away with it being on just kind of, we're not able to use it. So, and I'm not going to lie, I had this idea of that RV going into parks and going into communities and meeting people where they were at. And so when that kind of got taken away a little bit, I definitely kind of put a little damper on my spirit a little bit. But I think in the same breath, I have to kind of acknowledge that, for me, it was a campaign bus. It was a campaign piece. But for people who this is their livelihood, like if you do this to someone's car and they're a family and they're trying to get from point A to point B, like it's very hard. It's very hard. So I mean, I think I sympathize more with them than I do with myself when it comes to the RV. So there it is.
Well, that was a hard lesson. But for yourself now, full out there, policies are coming out. A lot of candidates are now in the run, in the hunt.
Yeah.
How have you coped with all of this?
I just do me. I don't have any, and to be honest, I do what I do, and I don't really, I don't really react to other people, nor do I really, it doesn't matter, because I'm very confident that my vision for this city is completely different. It is completely aligned with what we need to do for the future of Winnipeg. And it's not just politics. What we need for this city now is leadership. We can all play politics. Politics is just, you saying this about this person and, really just engaging with the popular, policies of the day. But I'm trying to create a movement that takes our city into the future, that ensures that our city is vibrant and energetic, and that we are exactly where we need to be, in consideration with the demographic changes that we are going to happen, in consideration what we need to do about climate change, what we need to do about gender equality, what we need to do about having age-safe cities, all those considered. So it's not just, hey, I'm going to up this budget for this, or I'm going to, remove this from the city, or I'm going to change this, or I'm going to get money for this project from here. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to create a vision that we can move forward and be the envy of the country. There's zero reason, that we shouldn't be.
Right. Now, when you say that too, Rana, you have to work with city councillors.
Absolutely.
And there are probably going to be a lot coming back.
Yes.
How are you going to manage all of those relationships too? And, and then also getting your point across?
You know what? For the past 7 years, being a lawyer and doing the kind of work that I've done in law, where it is all collaboration. There is no way to move forward without finding common ground, finding that common piece that we all believe in, to move something forward. And that is the way to lead. Regardless of if it was on council, or if you're in a business, or no matter what you're doing, that is the only way to lead. You have to lead by collaboration. And how you do that is we find common ground. I don't believe that there's any city councillor at all, whether in the past, in the future, or the newly elected ones who are not sitting at those seats because they love this city, they want to be a part of the future of this city, and they believe that we can do better. And if we all believe in the same thing, that means we have the same values. That means we can proceed. We can move forward in respectful and very amazing kind of future envisioning ways.
Yes, well, and you're right. It is a collaboration, and
Always.
And it is a team. Speaking now about policy, age-friendly. That's interesting.
Yes, and the fact that it hasn't been done already.
Yes.
It's actually where the interest lies. The fact that I'm talking about something that Ottawa has done, just other provinces across the city have done, that's kind of not the issue. The actual, where people should be ding, 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 like what happened here is the fact that our demographic has already changed so drastically in the past 10, 15 years. In 2030, our plus 65 population is going to again increase significantly. We need a plan in place for that. We need a plan in place to ensure that there is accessibility across our city. How do people in wheelchairs, in walkers move around? Of course we need to think about that. Or people are going to be isolated in their homes. And if we learned one thing from COVID, it is that when you isolate people in their homes, because of accessibility issues, what happens? Mental health issues happen, addictions happen, people lose their lives. We need to start caring for people. So for me, I say it over and over. It is my mantra for this campaign is I am always people over the politics. I'm always people over everything. So right now what I'm choosing to do is choose to bring the plights of our seniors to the forefront, and let's make that change. Let's make it age-friendly.
And you're right, because we are an aging demographic, and it's going to be a problem as we move forward. And I guess another thing, small businesses. I mean, we're all about being entrepreneurs and having our own business, and we know the perils of it since going through a pandemic. How are we going to move forward in your eyes?
Like any government, like any organization, like any established business, things have been in place for a very long time, and change is hard. Change is hard, right?
Yes.
So what I always would propose, and what I'm proposing for this campaign, and obviously I haven't come out with my policy yet, but just as a vision for people to understand is, if I'm starting a business, say if I want to start a food truck, okay, I should have every right to start a food truck. If I invested in the infrastructure of the food truck, my barrier should not be how do I get the permits, the licensing, and everything else to ensure that that's a sustainable business. So when we have people investing in business, they've committed to it. They've chosen Winnipeg as the place where they put that root down. But then they go to get their permits and all the things that we need to do. It takes them 6 months to do that. It legitimately makes 0 sense. It is a barrier. It is an impediment to growth. It is economic failure at the very least. So that's where we need to review what is happening during that process from the time someone gets through those doors and says, hey, I want to license my business, I need a permit for my business. What happens and how do we make that as efficient, as quick as possible? So that does require the reduction of red tape. That does require us re-envisioning what we believe that businesses contribute to the city. And I guess the last thing about small businesses is that, I get it historically. Historically, business has always been brick and mortar. It's always been, the buildings that are on the corner of the streets, the mom and pop physical shops. However, those are not the only businesses in Winnipeg. And every time we talk about business, we need to be acknowledging the fact that there is the gig economy. There are youth. There are people who have side businesses. I mean, people call them side hustles, whatever you want to call them. But there are people making business in other ways. And we need to start to envision how we incorporate that into our larger economic and business policy. And that's what I'm committed to doing.
Wow. So you have your work cut out for you. But no, I mean, it's always so refreshing, and we all know that it's hard. So what have you learned through all of this right now to this point?
Don't read the comments is number one, do not read the comments at all. The one thing, and I would encourage, actually, I'll take this as a moment to encourage people. There used to be a time in politics where if you deleted or blocked something, people used to be, oh, well, you didn't want to hear that comment, or whatever. There was kind of like a negative connotation to that. In this day and age, with just power, block and delete any comment that is racist, that is sexist, that is homophobic. I don't care. It's not going to be on my page. Don't come at my page with it, because I will literally screenshot it and I will really enjoy reading it out. So I would just encourage people to let's move forward in this election with respect and dignity for all.
Okay, so well put. Well, thank you so much, Rana.
Thank you.
I look forward to our next conversation.
Girl, you know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. Girl, you know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what.